Yo, what's up guys, Falconio here with another Dragon Ball Legends video. Today we're gonna do my Dragon Ball Legends top 10 tier list for the middle of November. This is gonna be the last tier list before Legends Fest is gonna start, most likely. I don't think I'm gonna do another one until then because I don't think we get a new banner or anything, and Zenkai I will need my time to evaluate them because I don't get every Zenkai immediately at Zenkai 7. I'm not paying my CC for that, so this will take a while, and I think until I've got the Zenkai or whatever next unit is gonna come out, it's probably not gonna be finished until Legends Fest is gonna start. So yeah, but as always, I don't own every single character on this list, so there will be units I can only judge based on fighting against them, and therefore maybe I have different experience than you guys maybe do. This is also, I would say, one of the harder tier lists I had to do because, yeah, I had some difficulties to kind of really place some units. But what I'm also trying to say is I can understand if people would disagree with the list a lot. So it is what it is. But starting with number 10, I have the red 40th anniversary Gohan. I think he is a solid unit for the DB team, which is his main team. And I think it's really not about him individually, but the thing how the DB team works. He fits there perfectly with his subcomp reduction on the strike cuts he uses. Also, increasing sub count when he enters the battlefield can be really good. To get free damage in, or to delay your enemy to combo into different units, as well as him. I haven't pulled up here, which I found really nice. He's not only giving ally DB sub counts on -1, which is really good, but also here, if you're for hyper or DB allies, damage was 40, damage guard was 10%, and health restoration and key recovery. So all these supporting abilities are really good for the DB team, and I think he makes the DB team very good. And right now, with all the DB units that released before, except this Kid Goku, I think everyone else is on S tier boost, so they get what? I think 50% extra damage guard and 80% extra damage. So DB is right now a really good team, I would say. Not the best team in the game, but one of the better teams in the game to use. Their meta right now, he fits on that team, so I think this brings him for me to the list. And yeah, he's the number 10 spot. I don't have really a lot of other things to say. I think the worst thing about him is that he force draws always a blast on entry, which is bad against Android 13. Because he's healing blast if you're switching characters. So sometimes you could maybe switch to this character and have a blast card, and then you can't combo because of Android 13, as well as giving the DB team more blast card generally, which is, I mean, I would say most of the DB team are not blast based, so there will be moments maybe we prefer strike cards with this character, or even this character, and you don't have any because Gohan provides more blast. But other than that, I think with the support and everything, he's doing fine. I like this unit. I like both units. Just one is not gonna make the list, and the other one is. Yeah, but that's number 10 with this Gohan. I don't know how well it's gonna age. Really depends if we get it. I think if we get another hybrid for Legends Fest, for example, there's a good chance it could age okay. Otherwise, there's a good chance he could fall off very quickly with the DB team. But we'll see. At number 9, I have someone I really had the issue replacing, and that's Namegoku. Now the biggest thing is, again, like his biggest factors, except for the KO guard, are kinda locked if you're fighting if you're fighting a powerful opponent. Like, specifically if you're running against this trio, this Goku can't do a lot like he wants to. With the lock-in, the fainting blue cards when you lock somebody in, you don't have that really because they're having anti-lock-in abilities, he has anti-lock-in abilities, this guy wasn't completely. But the best team I can think of where I think he has some value is MUI, then Zamasu and him as your team. That's the only team I really could think of. And I think there he is okay. I also think it's a major difference if you're not running Android 15 in that setup or not. Like if you're running, for example, God Key with these two and MUI, or Future with these two and Gohan, I think he's a lot better because he doesn't have this rush restriction against Android 13 when you lock somebody in. So, and for that reason I decided to keep it in my top 10, but as the number 9 spot, because otherwise I don't think he's like he can still be annoying with the AoE green and everything, but and also if he gets a feint with the blue card, this can help you to get a free rush, free ultimate to help against this Zamasu's counter gauge against rushes and ultimate. So I see still a bit of value. I was thinking if I should put it number 10 or number 9, but I decided to keep it at number 9. Not 100% sure if this was the right decision or not, but I'm gonna leave it as it is. There's a good chance, depending on what we get, that he could turn back again higher, because Namegoku from his kit is probably the most broken Ultra we got this year, I would say. Like, this is a unit that literally has everything you want a unit to do, like supporting, healing, safety, AoE green, fainting, lock-in, endurance. So, like, he got everything. He got the whole package. So, again, good chance he could get higher with the Legends Fest, but all depends on what units we got. Yeah, but this is Namegoku at number 9, and moving to number 8, I have Tambourine. I think him being an S tier, with all the damage he's getting from S tier, his damage that he normally has, and with the support of Gohan, and he's also been supporting, I think he's doing great right now. Probably not gonna do great as soon as he leaves the S tier boosts, because at that point you will notice the huge difference between his damage and tanking. But I think he's solid right now. I faced some Tambourines on the DB team, and I think he did well, good damage, Dragonball gaining, supporting. Again, the things that he does are totally fine, I would say, which is why I have him number 8. But I will admit I haven't seen enough of him to put him potentially higher. So I was thinking maybe about putting it number 6 or 7. Like, my debate was between 8 to 6. That was where I personally thought about him. I keep it at number 8, but could be that I should have placed him a bit higher or even maybe a bit lower. But I think, for the matter how it is, I think he deserves to be number 8 at least. Again, I think he's a solid unit, a good 1% sparking. It's just sad that this guy made it into the top 10 or even being relevant, and DKP is still nowhere to be found, even though he's an ST as well, I think. So, like, hell, I see Muten Roshi, I see literally everybody except for him. This is a really sad thing. If this guy's the only one who's really not being used at all in DB, where the other ones are, yeah, it's unfortunate. But yeah, and Tambourine at number 8, the best green unit right now, I would say. Right now, simply because he has the team for it. Otherwise, yeah, would be a different story. Okay, but moving to number 6/7, I have MUI and Future Gohan. I honestly don't know how I should, place these guys, like between who's better, because I think they have different good or bad things about them. Like Future Gohan, I will start with him. I think I didn't have it in my last tier list, so I think my last tier list was before his Zenkai. I think his Zenkai is really solid. Good support. His disrupt was always fine. I like the green card that he has, but I would say also solid damage. I think he's a good Zenkai. They give him the proper damage guard numbers, which was the biggest worry I had, so totally satisfied with him. But his damage is not necessarily like crazy. It's fine, I would say. I think he has fine damage, solid defense, good supporting, and this is probably his main role, supporting. He's also one of the best teams in the game, which is, or like better versions of the best teams in the game with the double Zamazus. And he's good against the purple Zamasu, which gives him a lot of value as well. On the other side, he doesn't have, as far as I remember, he doesn't have defensive neutral at all. And no type neutral until someone dies. And this means he gets walled by Red Zamasu and he gets destroyed by Red Zamasu. So this is the negative for him, but he works well on the future team. And then we have MUI Goku, who, well, for positive things for him, he's a blue unit, the best blue offensive unit, which is good against Zamasu, the red one. Also having, you know, his stupid counter green and stupid counter gauge. I hate this unit more than anything, but I have to admit he's doing great right now because Frieza, the most terrifying green unit for him, isn't really around anymore. So this MUI has now the option to be used. Obviously his defenses have fallen off at this point, so even Red Zamasu can sometimes tear through this guy, and if he can tank well against red unit, I mean, what else do I have to say? But regardless, again, stupid mechanics still. You also have to remember, and this is pretty important, with this UI uses this counter green against this Zamasu, your blue card gets sealed, so you're not gonna do anything. Keep that in mind. But other than that, well, he's one of the better setups you can run, which is these two Zamasus with MUI. This is a good god key setup, it's a viable setup. He's doing great there. I don't like that he's doing great there. But because these two have like different purposes on their team and have good and bad things for different reasons, I really can't decide who is the better one. If I had to pick, I would probably say MUI actually, because again, he is just annoying and there's no real green unit, I would say, except Tambourine right now actually. That is really hurting him, while Zamasu has by Future Gon has a far bigger threat that is often seen, which is Zamasu. And even if you're not seeing Zamasu, we have another red unit that exists in the game, or this guy, so up to 3 potentially red units to hurt this guy, while this guy has less of units to worry about. Not gonna say that Frieza isn't run at all, he is, I see him, but very, very rarely. So if you're facing the Frieza, he can still annoy this guy, but other than that, there's no re-units that really be a big issue for him. So yeah, this is number 6/7 with MUI being the number 6 and Future Gon being number 7. You can switch this if you want, I would understand it. Yeah, but this is how I would place them. At number 5, I have Kid Goku. I think his bat is really good. I think the sub count reduction on rushes is the best thing he got, I would say. I have to look at his equipment again, because the one thing I would say is what I don't like is that he doesn't have it for ultimates as well. Yeah, on enemy rush duration, own sub count -8. Considering that if you're playing with Gohan, you're having here -1 as well. This is a huge advantage to switch them back in and out. But yeah, this not having the ability to be activated against ultimates means that if you're switching out and you ult somebody, you can't switch in. Probably my biggest negative, which I don't like about him. Next to the point that he has no defensive neutral at all and only type neutral for 10 timer counts, I think. when you pop his Indestructible. So he's another red Zamasu victim, but on the other hand, he's really good against the purple Zamasu, so considering that these both, on most of the time, both ran together and this is the best duo that exists, I think it's fine that he is there, you know. He can wall off the purple Zamasu, at the same time get hurt by the red one. It kind of equals it out for me, and I think otherwise he's doing a great job of damage, tanking, with combination of subcon reduction on the DB team. Like, I think this is the best version of DB, these three together. They can really do a lot of long combos, I would even say. Like, the most of the time I'm facing them, they're basically switching in and out with subcon reduction and everything. Healing from Gohan, I forgot to mention, every time you switches out, I think it's 10%. Even plus health frustration here with 20%, you have to consider that as well. Or was it? No, he has this one. I thought he had some healing on switch out. Oh, I guess not. Okay, I was wrong about that one, but yeah, still. I think still having this. I think Goku maybe had it. Was it Goku? Maybe it was Goku. Did you have healing on switch out? Yeah, it was Goku. Okay, never mind. But regardless, I think they're working well, and this brings Goku at number 5 for me here. However, I'm gonna say this because this is important for the future. If the DB units are falling out of the S tier boost, and I don't know if then people would just replace Tambourine for this Goku right here. Could well be the case, and maybe the team is still then fine, but it's a bit worse. So him being kind of restricted to DB, not only with his normal abilities but also his unique equipment, it kind of makes you worry how long he's gonna age. But for now, I think it's fine that these guys are as good as they are because they deserved it. I think DB doesn't have a lot of characters that they could get. They rarely get buffed, and I think if they're getting buffs, they need to be really good. This should always be a case for a team that's rarely ever buffed. Same as Fusion Warriors. Fusion Warriors normally doesn't get a lot of buffs, so when they get buffed, they have to be really crazy or really good, so that you're getting a good team for a while, and then the team is dead for maybe a few months or a year, and then they get another good team. That's how it, same as with DB. DB rarely gets anything, so make the team like really good, and then for like a while, and let them fall off, and then they get something the next 2 years. But yeah, this is Kid Goku at number 5. Moving on to number 4, which was really hard to evaluate where I would put him. Or just Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Now, here's the thing. I think he's really good still, his damage and everything, but it's mostly because of the teams that I really don't know where to place this guy. And I really, I don't know if this is too much personal bias for me right here to put him at number 4. I'm really not sure about this, because the thing is, I've been using GT now a lot again, and I have to say, the team is still doing fine. Like, even though these two dropped out of the top 10, I don't think this team is bad. Like, this team has disadvantages against the best team in the game, but also some really good advantages I have to talk about, which is why I'm considering Vegeta's still here. I mean, any other team he has is basically the Triple Ultra team, and I don't really see the Triple Ultra team. I don't think it's greatest right now, but let's just say you're not facing these 3 and you're facing DB, he's doing really great, because who's gonna stop him really? And also him having this ability to be immune for 15 timer counts against any countered abilities like MUI helps a lot. You have no idea how much I get annoyed by MUI Gokus right now, and this guy is my saving grace. Like, I would just use a blast card for long range. They will think like, oh yeah, I can, don't have to do anything, and they get hit all of a sudden and I get priority for free because they forget that he has this. Because It's only 50 timer counts, I think, on the moment he fills his unique gauge. So if you're not paying attention to this, or you don't even notice this, it's easy to get a free priority out of this. And yeah, I just think, again, his damage and his abilities are still really good. And I think, considering that GT team is still okay, I think this brings him still to number 4, although this is mostly one. He's basically carrying the team. I'm gonna talk about the other GT units in a bit later, but I'm gonna keep it at number 4. Maybe this is too high, I'm not sure. Also the fact that he has type neutral for his switch attack and his ultimate with full unique gauge gives him a lot of good opportunities against, you know, these two blue units. So I think his color and everything he does right now is still good enough to consider him one of the better units in the game. But I really couldn't tell if I should have put him at 4 or at 5, or because I put the other ultras like way more down. But I think out of all the triple ultras, he has the best team besides the triple ultra team, and also is performing the best right now. Even though you probably don't see him that often. I think. I'm not seeing him that often, but when I do see him, he still does good damage and everything. So yeah, if you disagree with this placement, I can understand. But I'm gonna put him at number 4. Moving to number 3, we have Android 13, which I'm honestly not gonna talk about him much. He's the best supporter in the game. He's on the best team in the game. Do I need to talk about him a lot? Even, like, is there anything especially to say? Like, nothing really changed with him. He's still on the best team. There's no unit in a better placement right now. I don't see why. I don't. Moving to number 2, I don't even have to talk about him, really. I really don't. Like, annoying blast ceiling, best support, best team, whatever. Number 2 and number 1. I think last time I had this guy at number 1. I'm gonna change that up this time because, yeah, here's the thing. If you're running these two together, the biggest issue isn't him, it's him. Because the amount of healing, the amount of damage, anti-health restoration, and the best blue units in the game can also get crushed by this guy, except Android 13. Android 13 is probably the better one to tank against this guy, while this guy's the better offensive unit against against Zamasu, and if you're not being careful, he could kill your Zamasu. That can happen. But at the same time, the amount of damage, the anti-health restoration, like the best thing you can do if you're catching this guy, spam strikes, debuff him as much as you can, and then ult him, and he's not healing anymore. Because usually when you use the ultimate against him, he's healing. But with this guy, using that much anti-health restoration, you just don't. So this is a really strong factor, as well as against most teams, he's just that good. Like, against DB specifically, like, who's gonna stop this guy? Nobody. Like, I guess if you run Muten Roshi, okay, but type disadvantage, type neutral, he's gonna hit it hard. Nothing else to say, man. Like, he's that kind of a wall, and then you have this guy to protect him. Like, this duo specifically is far too good right now. So them being the top 2 is just like, that's not even a debate. And yeah, it's just last time I realized how good this guy is, but I guess not to the full extent, and now I do, so I place him higher. And what I would say, if this guy wasn't around, I don't know if I would keep him as the best unit in the game, because then I don't actually know if I would consider him the best unit in the game if this Zamasu wouldn't exist. Like, if this guy wasn't there, would he still be the best unit in the game? Or would it make a difference because you then have to worry more about rushes? I really don't know, but yeah, it is what it is. He is the best unit in the game right now, and then Purple Zamasu, close second, I guess. Like, it's a combination of these two which makes it so great, and this guy protecting him from every yellow character in the game right now is just making this guy also even better. So it's like, any unit that's gonna wall this guy off, this guy's gonna crush them, and every unit this unit gets as a wall, like, these guys get crushed by him. So yeah. Yeah, but this is my top 10, and no to the units on the top down row here that are, I would say, is every one of them usable? I will talk about it. Vegito, you don't see him, however, I still think he's good. Okay, not top 10, but he's definitely usable if you want to run a full fusion warrior team, I guess. Although I don't know how long he's going to keep that spot. Again, I think he's okay. He has defense neutral. If you have a 10 side or higher, I think he tanks well, but you don't really need him. I'm going to talk about these two last. Roshi, usable in the DB team. I think you would replace him for Tambourine if you use him, I think. And he's annoying, because with his green card you basically can't attack him, except with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's full unique gauge. Or you get a one combo hit, then switch attack. I think there are not many options to attack Mutant Roshi. There really is. Or Chucky Chun, I'm sorry. Like, there really are not that many options to attack this guy with a green card. Once he has a green card, then he gets a free blue. The blue card actually hurts. It's considered at least an S boost, so usable unit for sure, but he didn't make the top 10 here. Then this Goku next. I just think, put it simple, I think he's okay. I've seen this unit, I think he's okay. Definitely usable. I think Tambourine is better right now, so I'm gonna put him over. There's no big reason to run him if you have this guy. So, although I will say him healing and having some nice stuff, that's fine, but I feel more threatened by a Tambourine than I feel about this Goku. Although I would say this Goku isn't bad. This is also not in a particular order, I'm just gonna go for units. Then Ultra Frieza. To put it very simple, you don't have a really good team to run it. You don't. The best team I can think of is the Triple Ultra team, which just isn't the greatest. Like, and then what do you have? Powerful opponent, which is more strike and blast focused. No. What else? He doesn't have anything. His LOE is also more of a strike team, and you're not running LOE. It's not gonna happen. Just not gonna happen. Meta Cooler sucks. And Red Cooler needs Android 13 to be even considered a good unit. Which, by the way, doesn't make the list, because why would you ever run him if this guy exists? There's just no reason to run this guy, and he's also way too squishy. I just noticed this after using him. Red Cooler, why he is okay with Android 13, he's just way too squishy for me, so yeah. Gonna have him 14 stars, Red Zenkai 7 everything. Okay, yeah, Frieza again, no really good team. His damage is still, I will think, fine, as well as his Death Beam, but with no team to run him, I can't really place him in the top 10 anymore. Will change if you get another good powerful opponent blast setup, then maybe there's a good chance he's gonna come back, especially if it's a yellow unit running next to him, but until then, this is where he is. Then lastly, this is not Vegito Blue, the one that got a Zenkai. This is the from Legends Fest last year. This is just an icon placeholder because I couldn't find the purple one here, unfortunately. But I think his Zenkai is a usable one from what I've seen. But for one, he's too restricted for his overdrive. That's the first big problem I have with him. And number two, he's a purple future God Key Fusion Warrior unit. You're not gonna run him over this guy. Ever. He's not making a core team. And he has good things for supporting purposes and everything, but I mean, let's just say you don't have this guy, you could run him. Okay, then you have him on a strike-based future team, which is one big problem. And then you basically just focus on this Red Zamasu, and if you ever lose this Red Zamasu, you have these two left. You're not gonna win with this. That's just how it is, okay? And his abilities with his overdrive and also with his locking green into blue. They are solid, but I would say it's the best against green units, which, look at the green units on the list. Tambourine. I mean, if you ever see these two, sure, but there are not that many green units you really see in PvP ranked like from the best teams, so it's not saying it's horrible, I'm just saying it's not good enough necessarily against other teams. And again, too much damage restricted by his overdrive and his card draw speed and everything. It's a cool gimmick. I like what they did with this character. I'm not saying he's unusable, he's a usable unit, but I don't think there's the right setup for him to really make it like to the really important ones. So yeah. And then we have GT, the two GT units. In all honesty, first of all, if I had to place them, I would actually put them, if I had to, these two would be number 11 and 12, potentially even for me, because, and to make this clear, I think they need to be together. I don't think, I can't really evaluate one being better than the other, because they are too, they need each other too much to separate them, and they have all their purposes for different reasons to be like pretty good for me. Like, I'm a massive GT fan, GT user, glazer, whatever, so I have a lot of experience with these guys, and they have a really good, I would say a lot of good things against the powerful opponent team that you could use. The Solar Flare alone is basically the best mechanic against this team because it opens you a free Rising Rush once you use it. Like, you have a rush, you have, by the way, this guy being a green card generator, Solar Flare. If you're Solar Flaring Red Zamasu and you're rushing, the biggest problem out of the enemy team gone. If you're Solar Flaring this guy rushing, not the biggest worry gone, but you still have a very strong unit out of the way. If you're rushing this guy pre-revival, at least you're getting his buff removal away, and if you're rushing post-revival, then they don't have a blue character anymore, so this Vegeta can rampage. That's really good. Then have also, once someone's dead, you can lock in ult with this guy. If you lock in ult in Red Zamasu and he's not type neutral, that's a dead unit, and this guy can intervene. That's also very strong. And then you have this guy as well. If you get a good opportunity to, let's just say this guy goes for a strike attack, you vanish the strike attack, he still has his vanish, but you switch this guy in, main ability, get through Dragonballs, you're getting your rush, you're rushing, you're killing this guy, boom. Worst unit you're most worried about gone. Like, the GT team has really good value. They have a disadvantage against these guys, for example, Android 13 specifically, but at the same time they have really good things in their team to keep up against this team. I used them, like, again in the video, I used them in a few PvP matches the last few days, and I'm doing okay with them. Obviously sometimes I'm losing, but a good amount of times I'm also winning with this team. So while I think they are pushed out of the top 10, and I honestly think that this guy is gonna fall off as soon as the boosters, he's off the boost system, that's for sure, because his defenses are the biggest issue, and once he's out of there, he's tanking even worse. So, like, GT Goku, if you're having proper stars, is gonna be fine, but this guy is probably gonna fall off, and at this point they will need another GT unit. So, but until then, I think this is still a good team that you can run, but they're not gonna make the top 10 for me anymore. So yeah, I think these are all units I wanted to talk about. Let me know what you guys think about the top 10. Let me know what you guys think about the units here that basically are number 11 to 17, not in order at all. Okay, these are not in order. Although, should I order them? And nah, I'm not gonna do that. Too much work for me. I don't. I already had issues ranking these guys, but these guys, this would take a while for me. So yeah, I will leave it as it is. Let me know what you guys think, and see you guys in the next video.